How do you sum that up?
Cardiac kids strike again. I reminded them that several of our patrons are of the age where they can't handle that kind of excitement. Wow. Where do you start? It's just a tale of two halves, certainly. Perhaps one of the worst third quarters maybe ever in terms of poise, defensive intensity, or lack thereof. And we got in a little bit of foul trouble, and we didn't handle that well. And give Illinois credit. They're a really good basketball team. Shauna does an amazing job. They were obviously, didn't have a very good first half, but boy, that second half, they showed how good they can be. But in the end, we got the win, and that's what's most important. We showed some poise when we fell behind by 8. I know it wasn't looking good, but that's kind of when we start to make things happen. It's crazy, but ultimately it was our defense that down the stretch that made the stops, and that's what got us the victory. Obviously, some timely shots and offensively, but I thought it was the defense that won the game late.
Play at the end, go on Sophia's tape for defensive player of the year candidate.
Yeah, I'll have to review that when it was all kind of a blur when it happened. We had some fouls to give there, and that was in our thought process. I'll just leave it at that. But it was a physical game all night, and they let that physicality go on that play. So, it's unfortunate for one team, but it helped us certainly.
Talked about that 8-point deficit. I believe you guys called a timeout and things turned around. What did you say to the team at that moment, and how did you see them, of course, respond as the way that we did?
Yeah, that we've been there before. We've been there, done that. There's no quit in them. Our big three, so to speak, had really good nights. We didn't get the support that we've, come to count on. But those guys in the end made some big plays, especially, that out of bounds, you leave it to your best couple of players, right? And Katie made just an amazing shot. So.
Did she have options there? What's the general idea for there?
Yeah, well, I also thought she had the dump off to Ahis as well. That was one. And then we had the two shooters on the weak side, spaced out, me at the high wing and a corner player. So we had the people in the right spots, but, Katie had a great look, and that was a spectacular shot, though. It's funny, she wanted to miss. Told her to miss the second because they had no timeouts, 1.4, and she makes it. But helps the percentage, but it also hurts the heart a little bit.
You mentioned no quit, but I imagine that third quarter kind of everybody's doing shout, but that you guys are probably pretty focused on walk us through kind of where everybody's at mentally at that point.
Oh, I think we were, we had some emotional players on the side. I think that we just lost our poise. We lost our poise. Now, it also helped. It hurt us that that he's got in foul trouble and Katie as well. And yeah, we just kind of panicked a little bit, and that's we got to keep learning, keep getting better.
How do you go about managing when he's kind of is in foul trouble throughout this game, and she's plus 24 today, obviously making an impact?
I will bring that up to her. I bet I said I'm going to say easy 8 to 10 times. No basket is worth a fourth foul ever. And of course, when they drove and she just feels like she has to make that play, just give them the 2 points. It's never more important than a fourth foul. And I think she's realized that. And when we let her know that we were plus 24, you've got to stay on the court because she's, just so impactful.
I guess just her being able to stay on the floor. I think you subbed her in with about 5 minutes to go, and she stayed on the floor throughout.
Exactly. So she's capable of doing it. But we had to. I think that was right when they had built that lead. I mean, at some point you just say, hey, we gotta go for it. And so, yeah, again, she's a young player, and, she's going to make those mistakes, but she also makes up for it more times than not. That was a really good win, you guys. That's a team we're fighting with right there in the middle, and we hope to be the upper middle of the conference. And what was their net? Was that a quad one at home? Okay, but it's still a hell of a win. Hell of a win.
Michigan State. What kind of belief do you feel like you want your team to have based on the way chips are falling these last?
Well, we don't have any gimmies. You know, we've got 3 left on the road, 3 left at home. All our home games are against teams that are going to be in the NCAA tournament. You know, at least one of the 3 on the road too. So we've still got a tough road ahead. We've got to continue to get better, but this was a big win tonight. Big win.
Future, you may use this game as a potential moment to remind your team or look back in film. If they need that sort of pick me up, do you feel like this could be a game where you could utilize that for them?
Yeah, we'll definitely watch film. It was that third quarter, you guys, that set the tone for the, you know, obviously the fourth and the end of the game. But we've just kind of find a way to do better than that. We obviously showed our immaturity coming out with a big lead, and maybe we relaxed a little bit. I thought the shot selection at times was horrendous in that third quarter, you know, and we've gotta improve in those areas. We just do. We do.
Is what you like want them to learn from this game? Is it more on the side of like, hey, like this is what like we don't want to do, or is it like, or do you go back to this game and say like, hey, look, like we did play that fourth quarter, like we did, like how do you balance those two sides?
Just like on all my multiple choice exams, I always take D, all of the above. So yeah, you got a shot. They're putting it in there because they want you to take it, right? We can learn from, you know, our mistakes we made, the lack of intensity, and I'm going to credit Illinois. They just, you could tell they came out, maybe they got their butts chewed at halftime. I don't know what the case is, but that's normally the quarter we really excel in. And they just came out, they were more physical. They wanted it more. They executed better. They, you know, and then we, in the first half, you know, we had 3 goals coming in, and one was, you know, limit transition points. That's how they won the other night at Washington. They had 0 transition points at half. The other was blocking out, no second, and they had 0 second chance points in the first half. So we had done what we wanted to do, and that's why we had the lead we did. And then we suddenly kind of forgot about that. And they were getting second shots, finishing them. And, you know, we're just not the very big team. You know, Ahis is 5'11", 6 foot, and she's going against a 6'7" kid. And you can complain to the referees that they're over the back. The honest truth is they're not. She's just taller, and she's going up and over them. So, but in the end, you guys, we won the game, and ultimately that's why you play it. Thanks, Herm Edwards.
The 4-game losing streak into a 4-game winning streak. How do you apply that progress to the rest of the season from here?
Got a top 10 team coming in on Sunday, so it just never ends. And I've got a great tweet for Sunday. You guys are going to like it. Might take a little bit of intellect, so that might exclude some of you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we hope to, you know, if you know, the crowd was great tonight. I hope they keep coming because we sure give them great games, exciting games.